Alright, so we're going to take a look at some modify tools. And these are the biggies. These are the modify tools that we're going to use all the time. They are the most useful modify tools. So we're going to start with move. We're going to look at copy. We're going to rotate. And then we're going to scale. Now, the thing about a lot of these modify tools is they have certain things in common. And one of the things they have in common is that a lot of them operate in two phases, phase one and phase two. And here's what I mean. I'm going to go with the move tool. Move. So in phase one, look what AutoCAD's asking you. It's asking you to select objects. So phase one is selection. What do you want to move? I'm going to click on that square and hit enter. Now, I hit enter. I'm not in phase one anymore. I'm not selecting anymore. Now I'm in phase two, which I call execute. So AutoCAD's now asking you to pick a base point. So the base point can be any point. It could be the corner at the end point. It could be the midpoint. It could be the geometric center. It could be anything you want. Heck, you can grab it from empty space if you want to. But I'm going to say, let's do this. Let's grab it from the end point. That's our base point. And now it's saying, give me a new location to place this on. So where do you want to put it? Do you want to put it on the other endpoint, on the midpoint, on the geometric center? So how about this? We'll go the other endpoint. Alright, and now we've taken an object and we've moved it from this spot here to that spot there. Again, there were two phases. Phase one was select. Phase two was execute. Let's try that again. So move the rhombus. I selected the rhombus. I'm all done selecting, so I'll hit enter. Okay, and now I'm out of phase one. I'm in phase two. Phase two is grab it by a base point. How about there? And then click where you'd like to move it to. How about there? Same thing with the circle. Let's select the circle, enter. Where do you want to grab it from? How about that quadrant point? Where do you want to move it to? How about that midpoint? Right? So there's two clicks after the selecting is done. Alright, now you can move more than one thing at a time. You can select things with a lasso, or with picking, or with windows, or crossing windows. You can pick things however you want. But when you're all done selecting, the idea is we hit enter. Now we're in phase two. Where do you want to grab it from? How about here? Where do you want to move it to? And you can snap to things, like I'm snapping right now. But you can just move it where you want too. You don't have to snap to anything if you're not putting it anywhere specific. You can move where you want it. I'll move the circle and the rhombus. I'll move them from that point here over to there. Alright, so that's move. Now, move also works with direct distance entry. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to select the circle, hit enter. Now I'm in phase two. Where do you want to grab from? Grab from anywhere. How about from there? I'm going to point to the right. Now I'm going to move that circle 6 inches to the right. So point to the right, type in 6, hit enter, and what did it do? See, that circle just jumped over 6 inches to the right. Direct distance entry, you remember what that is, right? You start drawing, you point in the direction you want it to go, and you type in the number. Except now, we're not drawing things, we're moving things. How about we move that circle, enter, from anywhere or from nowhere. Just point it straight down and type in 4. And now we moved it 4 inches down. And we can even do the DDE at an angle. So I'm going to pick that square. I'm going to grab it from this corner. I'm going to point down to the right at 45. So at 315. And I'm going to say 3 inches. And then bam, it moves. So now here's how you can tell if everything went okay. Does the circle attach to the string? Does it look like a sideways balloon? Does this look like a lollipop? Does this, I don't know what this looks like. Someone hit a stop or a yield sign on the highway and they knocked it over. Okay, does the figure you moved touch the line? And if it does, well, then you move things correctly. Congratulations. So you can move using object snaps. You can move using direct distance entry. You can also move coordinates. And I know after you learn some of the stuff that we covered in this unit, you're probably thinking, man, coordinates suck. I never want to use coordinates again. I hate coordinates. Well, the fact is, coordinates let you do some cool stuff. So let's move some stuff using coordinates. I'm going to say move that rhombus. Enter. Where do you want to grab it from? Who cares? There's fine. Now I'm going to type in a coordinate. I'm going to say, hey, go at 6, comma 0. Now think about that. What kind of coordinate is that? That's a relative coordinate, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm telling it, hey, go 6 in the x direction, but don't go up or down in the y direction. And when I do that and hit enter, do you see how it jumped over exactly 6 inches from where it was? I'll do the same thing with this rhombus. I'll say, hey, go at 0, comma, -4. So I'm telling it, don't move left or right in the x-axis, but go down in the y-axis 4 inches. So move this, enter, grab it from wherever you want to grab it, and tell it, hey, at 0, comma, -4. And then there it is. Right? And just like with coordinates, you can move in both axes at the same time. I'll grab this guy, grab it from where you want, and just say, hey, at 4, comma, -4. Move 4 to the right in the x direction and move 4 down in the y direction. And then there it is. Alright, so move is an awesome tool because, in CAD, if you start drawing something and it's all jammed up in the corner of the piece of paper and you got all this white space and you say, man, I wish I had started the drawing a little bit closer to the middle. Well, here's the good news. You can move it closer to the middle and no one's ever going to know that it was all jammed up in the corner before. You can move with object snaps. You can move with direct distance entry, and you can move with coordinates. So that covers how to use the move tool.